Hello and welcome to Mini Course, your gateway to bite-sized learning. Today you will learn how to write Chapter 2 of your thesis. Let's dive in. As I mentioned in previous lectures, each school, colleges, or universities have its institutional format. Some labeled Chapter 2 as Related Studies and Literature, but in this tutorial, I call it Theoretical Background. In the Theory First Then Research strategy of seeking knowledge, the important tasks are concerned with identifying relevant concepts, theories, and other forms of organizations that all serve as explanations for an empirical problem. Doing these tasks addresses the need to establish the theoretical background of the research. These tasks include the review of related literature and studies, identification and explaining the relevant theories and concepts, and defining the terms used in the study. Chapter 2 of the thesis proposal consists of the following parts: related literature, related studies, synthesis of the art, gaps to be bridged by the study, theoretical framework, conceptual framework, definition of terms, then notes. Related literature is composed of discussions of facts and principles to which the present study is related. These materials are usually printed and found in books, academic journals, newspapers, including online resources. The literature review can be organized creatively. By theme? By trend? By argument? By theoretical position, noting the differences and disagreements. Here are some perspectives of the literature review. A review of prior, relevant literature is an essential feature of any academic project. An effective review creates a firm foundation for advancing knowledge. It facilitates theory development, closes areas where a plethora of research exists, and uncovers areas where research is needed. Webster and Watson, 2002. Don't forget to acknowledge the source. Here we used APA Style 7th edition. Related studies, on the other hand, are studies, inquiries, or investigations already conducted to which the present proposed study is related or has some bearing or similarity. They are usually published or unpublished previous research, theses, or dissertations. Here's an example of writing the related studies. Morrell, A. 2020, studied and assessed the performance of Simbag SA Pag Ascenso Credit Services as to its credit service in one of the center of Old Albi branch. Findings showed that majority of the respondents were very satisfied with the services offered by the institution. The majority of the respondents experienced improved status of the business, increased management capability and improved socioeconomic condition, which had an equivalent rating of very effective as to extent of performance of SEDP in support to the entrepreneurial activities of each member. Don't forget to acknowledge the source in the notes and references section. The related literature and studies may be subdivided into foreign or local literature or studies. There should also be a discussion on the similarities and differences between the related studies reviewed and the proposed study. This cushion will prove convenient to use when the researcher writes the synthesis of the art and the gaps to be bridged by the present study. Next is synthesis of the art. This contains the organized and systematized summary of information or data from the related literature and studies that are related or relevant to the present study. It highlights the basic similarities and differences among the materials reviewed in light of the problem of the study. The identification of the research gap is also part of the synthesis. Here, the writer tells the reader what has not been touched by previous scholars or researchers, which the current undertaking is touching. Next is gaps to be bridged by the study. This section discusses the inconsistencies found in the review of related literature and studies and those with the present study. Usually, the gaps that are found can be used as a starting point for another study. This is precisely the point of embarkation of the current study. The bridging of research gaps is important as it solves inconsistencies and vagueness of research findings in previous studies. When theoretical gaps are identified, the researcher can preempt problems of logic. Next, theoretical framework. This contains the organized, systematized, and synthesized presentation of the interrelated theories and concepts established by the related literature which serve as groundwork for her current problem under study. Out of the interrelated theories and concepts, the core theory or concept that the researcher considers as the key to investigating and analyzing the problem of the study is elaborated. Watch for another video tutorial on learning how to develop the theoretical framework. Meantime, let's move to the conceptual framework. It consists of the investigator's position on a problem after her exposure to various theories that have a bearing on the problem. It is the researcher's new model, which has its roots in the previous models that the researcher had studied, Sanchez, 1997. The conceptual framework becomes the central theme, the focus, and the main thrust of the study. It serves as a guide in conducting the investigation. Watch for another video tutorial on learning how to develop the conceptual framework. Next, definition of terms. The definition of a term includes a combination of the term's dictionary meaning, ordinary, or technical meaning, authoritative, and its meaning as used in the study, operational. The ordinary or authoritative definition will provide the reader the basic meaning, while the operational definition will give the delimiting distinction of the study's words from similar words in their ordinary usage. By giving the reader both the basic meaning and delimiting distinction of the term, he is provided the opportunity to have a learner, deeper, comparative, and analytical understanding of the word. Procedures in defining terms. The following instructions are helpful in the definition of terms. Identify the term or expression to be defined. During the proposal stage, most of the to-be-defined terms and expressions could be found in the variables of the study, the statements which are descriptive of the problem, and the methodology. For the preparation of the completed research report, the items for the glossary would now include those used in the discussion. Look for the dictionary/technical meaning of the term or of the substantial words composing the expression. Visualize the use of the term or expression in the study. Write the dictionary or technical meaning that suits the word's usage in the study. If no dictionary or technical definition is apt for its use in the study, write such meaning nonetheless. Note the dictionary or technical meaning with the appropriate number. If the dictionary or technical meaning is the same as that used in the study, write, "This is the same definition as used in the study." If the word used is different, write the operational definition. Write the definition as a paragraph starting with the term or expression being defined. Underline the term or expression being defined. This ends our lesson on writing the Chapter 2 of your thesis. In our next video, we will explain how to develop the theoretical framework and conceptual framework. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you for taking the time to learn with us in our mini course.